Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Morning Dinner Podcast. It's your boy, Key, man.
Chuck.
It has been a minute since we posted a new episode. It's been, 2 months? 3 months?
2 months.
Since October, November, right?
Yeah,
People thought we gave up on this podcast, bro.
we did.
For a little bit.
We did.
But we're back and better than ever. Guys, it is 2019, and we've got a whole lineup of artists that are coming on. And today, on today's special episode, we have Sophia Maria.
Hi, guys.
Sophia, do you want to tell everybody who you are and what you do real quick?
Yes, my name is Sophia Maria. I am a Latina R&B pop music artist. I'm also a wife and a mother of 3 children. And basically, I've been singing since I was a little girl. I started professionally working on the Strip at the Debbie Reynolds Hotel Casino, performing in her show on the weekends. And then 13 was signed, and through the years met MC Magic through
Instagram?
No, we met through Pacific Concert Group.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, it was so long ago. I don't mean to date myself. And then he kind of took me under his wing, and we just kept on working on from there, and made music and toured. And I'm just kind of still doing my thing and making music, and continuing to be a wife and a mom, and that's about it. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Thank you.
So you've been singing since you were 8 years old?
8 years old.
But when did you actually start recording music?
I started actually recording music when I was 12. I made like a demo tape.
Okay.
And at the time, my manager, who also she was the manager of Hanson at the time, she brought me down to Arista Records, and I sang in front of Reid. And it was so funny because when he brought me in, like I'm 12 years old, about to be 13, and he calls me into the room, and there's like 12 A&Rs standing around the room, and he's sitting there in his desk with like these shades on, and I walk in, and he goes, "Stand right there and sing." And I just remember like my heart was racing.
Oh,
And I went in the middle of the room. I'm looking around, and I was just like, "Fuck it."
It sounds like
And
a
I
movie
just-
scene.
Yeah, I was
super
like,
rough.
whatever. And I
It's
just
like a
started
darkly lit room. Just a dude at a table with dark shades on.
Let me see what you can do.
10 dudes around him.
It was like super intimidating, but at the same time I was like, they're either gonna like me or they're not. And I just started singing, and he just said thank you, and everyone kind of was like, "Oh, she's so cute," or like they kind of gave me a hug, and that was it. And I left, and we got a call the next day saying like he wanted to sign me to a development deal. So during that time I had recorded some music, and I had about 5 songs done already, and we were doing like photos, and they had me doing like interview classes, kind of like prepping me, and about a year and a half later, we got a call that my A&R was laid off with like 10 or 12 other A&Rs.
Now, real quick, what is an A&R?
Artist representative.
Okay.
So basically,
Like an agent?
It's kind of like that person that represents you in the label.
Okay.
So like when a lot of the times when you enter a major label, there's probably over 100 to 200 artists on there. And so you kind of need that person to like represent you, and that's gonna, help you like contract wise, and kind of get you to like the front line. Cause a lot of the times like you're put on the shelf. And his thing with me was I was so young, he wanted to sign me, but he wanted to develop me and have me on for so many albums until I became a certain age, and then and then put me out there. But once we knew that my A&R was laid off, our lawyer basically was like, "We think it's the best idea that you get out, because if you don't have anyone representing you and you're in like a development contract, you're going to be on the shelf for who knows how long." And
you won't be able to legally make music or something?
But basically, like I would say, I would be on the shelf, or I could be on there for a year to 10 years to 12 years, and just making music, nothing I own, and I'm just sitting there until they decide they want to put me out. And when they do put me out, I couldn't do anything or make any kind of money, and I didn't own anything.
And any music you made, they
was
owned
just
complete?
all theirs, yeah. And I couldn't do anything else. So it was in that time, however that contract was, in that development contract, I could get out during like, a certain amount of time. So that's when we kind of pulled out of there. And that's when I'd met a new manager, and we went through all these things. His name was Alan Beck, and he puts together like old school meets new school concerts, with like, Denise Williams and Zapp and Duke of Earl, and then
I
he
love
mixes.
Zapp.
Yeah, me too, right? They're
So
amazing.
good.
They're so dope. Yeah. And you know, he mixes it with new school, like, you know, MC Magic at the time, Nastyboy Klick and Baby Bash. And so I started touring with him, and that's where I met MC Magic. At the time, he was in his group Nastyboy Klick, or NB Writers, I should say. And I remember he said, you know, I want you to come meet This Is Magic, and you know, he endorsed, and he introduced me to the group. And I remember Magic was like, can you sing for me? And I was like, yeah. And I started singing a song, and we got the call the next day. He's like, I want to work with her. And then we just started working together.
And
Like,
so what year
me
was
singing
this?
tracks out. That's why I was 16. So let's see. I'm not good at math, but if I'm 32 now, what year was that?
Well, if you were 16,
If I was 16,
it was probably like 2002.
2000. Okay,
Yeah,
in the
2002.
2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that was so long ago. Ay, Dios mío.
Dang, it sounds like a pretty
But
complicated
yeah.
Situation that you were in.
It was
but
always
luckily,
complicated for me, but
Luckily, you were able to get out of it, like the the
Yeah.
whole situation.
But to be honest, it's super exciting at the same time because those are
It's true.
opportunities you can never really have as
You
a
know
normal
what?
person.
Yes, absolutely. And it was just all those experiences and meeting everyone was just a blessing. And being able to share the stage with such legends, and you know, all those years. You know, I always talk about Magic, but he literally is like, I hate to say dad because he's so cool, and you know.
What would you say? You would say he's kind of like a mentor, right?
But he's absolutely a mentor, and you know, like he's, you know, family. He really took me under his wing for all those years, and you know, we just did a lot of those shows, and he helped me branch off from doing a lot of those, you know, old school meets new school concerts, and being able to perform for like the Chicano market, and be able to perform my own music, and you know, stuff like that. So
how old were you when you actually like first recorded your first song? Because you said you've been singing since you were 8.
So I
got signed at
recorded
12.
I recorded my first song when I was 12.
Okay.
Is
that
and then oh yeah, I
It's
have
out there?
oh yeah.
You gotta send me that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
They're
I wanna
under
hear
there.
it.
I have about let's see, I'm trying to think. I had 6 or 7 albums out since I was a young girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
But
not great,
But that,
but-
but that was under the whole management of Reid. Or-
Only one was.
Okay.
But it never officially made it out, but I still have those songs personally. But albums that are actually out that were under, like when I was under Pacific Concert Group, ITP Records, and then also when I was under Magic's company, Nastyboy Records, those are all out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one's like Bump This, one's called At Last, one's called Oh My.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So I have to ask. A
Yeah.
lot of artists go by an alter ego, right? Like Magic goes by, you know, MC Magic, or you
Yeah.
get somebody like what's Bruno Mars. That's not his actual name. Like they pick an alter
Oh,
ego
it's not
name.
his name.
That's not his name. No, I think it's like
that was his
Alejandro something, right?
Is it? Oh, he's
Yeah.
Spanish.
He's
I thought he was
some kind of.
Filipino. Or you know, a lot of Filipinos have Spanish
Yeah.
names, right?
I'm not 100% sure what he is, but I
Oh.
know he's a mix of
Oh,
something.
dope! I didn't know that.
But yes, like why did you end up choosing just to go by your name, Sophia Maria? That's your actual government name, right?
Yeah, Sophia Maria is actually my name.
Yeah, say it like that. Sophia Maria.
Sophia Maria.
Maria.
Okay, so most of all the women in our family, we don't have a middle name. So we kind of have like 2 first names. So like my mom's name is Maria Alicia, and everyone thought her middle name was Alice, but she has on her birth certificate, it's just Maria Alicia Rascon, you know? So
Right.
for me, I have no middle name. It's Sophia Maria. And then it was my maiden name.
Really?
But my
Oh,
dad.
really?
So
So
I
you
don't
have 2
have
names for a first name?
Yeah, and I
That's
don't have
awesome.
a middle name.
I've
so
never heard that before.
It's,
That's
it's
crazy.
so it's crazy.
I have a cousin in Mexico, and her name is Ana Maria.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
okay,
like 2
so it's the
names.
same.
Yeah.
But she has no middle name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so
in-
like
that's
people on my
interesting.
birth, it's just Sophia Maria.
But
no
you've
middle name.
always wanted to be recognized by Sophia Maria. Like that's
Yeah, and
right?
I mean, yeah, we just always stuck with Sophia Maria. And then people always thought, you know, that was like an alter ego name, or it was my first and middle name, and that's just my real first name.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
Nice.
is
And it works really well though.
It's so
I mean,
awkward.
once
It's
again,
like, what?
Sophia Maria.
it
Yeah, that's
Sophia
a-
Maria.
yeah,
it just
Maria.
rolls off the tongue, to be honest.
Mhm.
What would you say is something that you've learned in your career as a singer? That's like what's something that you've learned in 2018 that you're gonna apply in 2019?
Oh, I've learned so much, but I would say the thing that sticks out the most, especially this year, I've learned a lot from Magic, where you really have to hustle. I always worked hard, but I had a lot of people around me kind of helping me with a lot of things. And this was kind of the first time that I'm doing everything on my own. And I learned that, you know, no one's going to help you unless you help yourself. And so I think it's just more of that hustle mentality, like to really get out there and push myself.
Right.
More than anyone else, you know.
It's kind of like one of those things where like nobody will take you seriously until you start taking yourself seriously, right?
That's
like,
so true. So well said.
Like if you're out there continuously pushing, is that even a word? Continuous?
Yeah.
It's a word?
Yeah.
Continuously, yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say continuingly.
Continually.
That works too, man. I'm good with it.
If you're continuously pushing yourself and like marketing yourself and like really putting work into it,
yeah.
you know, people are going to start noticing you and they're going to start talking about you. And then that's how people start taking you more seriously. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's interesting. What are your plans for 2019?
So we have this new single out called Wish You Well featuring my boy Welby.
Okay.
We just did the video. And I'm just going to keep pushing that. Going back in the studio in a couple weeks to work on some more music. And just my plan is kind of just to, like we were talking the other day, just to keep pushing singles out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people keep asking me like, when are you going to drop an album? And I think at this point I'm just trying to like stay relevant and keep my name out there and just get on shows and like push like single by single.
Okay.
Like make a video and just keep getting out there online.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously like book more shows.
So is your mentality more before you put together an album, you want to draw people in by dropping singles,
I just want to keep building that support group.
Okay.
I want to keep building that base. You know what I'm saying?
sense.
I don't say fan because I don't think like of myself as a celebrity to have fans. So I'd say like, you know, like
it's trippy. It's trippy to think of yourself having fans.
Because I'm not.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, but you
I
do
don't
have fans though.
I mean, to me, it's like a lot of like my support. I would say like my supporters or friends have been with me since like day one, since like MySpace days.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had MySpace
music.
It's funny.
Did I? Yo, I was popping on MySpace. Let me tell you.
Who's your top
in
8?
my time.
Remember that
I don't know. I think I had like 3 different boyfriends, right? So every time.
you know what's funny though?
Off.
When I was on MySpace, I remember seeing you on MySpace.
No way.
Yes, and I remember going like, "Whoa, she's famous." Like I remember, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. To me, you were a celebrity.
Like,
you
what
still
happened?
are. You still are a celebrity to me. Like, but I remember like even since back in the MySpace days, I was like going because I saw your music video.
Forget
about her. I was like,
do you
damn,
remember,
that's
like,
next level.
That's dope though.
I didn't even do video or
cool.
photography back then. I was just looking at it like I was super ignorant. I was just like, wow, this looks amazing. This is awesome. Like, you know, watching your music video on YouTube and all that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That made me feel really special.
That's awesome. It's crazy. It's crazy how like when you take it
Thank-
back, like you like there's things that you didn't know how were happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I mean,
it's true.
And I'm pretty sure like you probably meet people now like when you're doing shows on the road
Yeah.
that will tell you like, oh my god, I remember you like from all the way back in the day when you were doing this and
Yes.
is it, like how does it feel to have people talk about you like at your shows like
Yeah.
like they've been following your journey but like
For, like, all those years.
maybe you've never met them or seen them before or talked to them but they tell you
gosh. It's like when someone tells me that, it's like a feeling like you get with your child, like you love your child so much.
Yeah.
Not like it's your child, but like I love them so much because I think like, wow, you would go out of your way to listen to me, or you go out of your way to follow me and support me, and I love them and appreciate them so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in shock because I just think like me, like why me, you know?
But at the same time
humble.
you're pursuing it though, so it's like you kind of almost expect it to come, right? But it's still like a weird feeling.
I mean, I don't though. I really don't. I think it's complicated with my career because I think there was so many moments where there was like times where I felt like, okay, this is gonna be it. Like I'm gonna make it, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
and something would fall through. And I'm gonna say a lot of that was my fault. I was a partier, and I was like one of them troubled teens where I was always doing my music, but I was getting into a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I messed up a lot of moments. I ruined a lot of moments where people just didn't want to work with me no more because, not that like I wasn't like there with my heart, but I was just always getting into trouble.
Mm.
And so.
But you're young, and I mean that's kind of also how you learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I've right. It's true. Like, but I'm like I said, I'm 32 years old now, and I didn't start like maturing until I had my first child, and I was already like 26.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me a really long time to like start maturing. Even like really until I hit like my 30s is when like I really became came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like for me, I don't expect it because I don't see myself as that. And I've never seen myself as like a celebrity, or like I've never seen myself as really anyone like special like that. So
But you're doing amazingly, and especially like with the new
thanks.
song.
I'm trying.
with the new song that you have with Welby, Wish You Well. I saw the music video of it.
Cool.
You know, you're doing really good things, and I feel like there's a lot of good things coming for you in 2019.
Oh man,
All you got to
thank
do is
you.
stay consistent,
Yep,
and
consistent.
and
I
put
gotta
those
stay
things
consistent,
that
yeah.
happened to you in your past,
Right,
and
right.
learn from them, right?
Right.
That way, even if something like messed you up back in the day, you can still look at it as a learning experience and use it
Right.
positively, right?
Yes, you're
Do-
right, Kim.
I'm a very wise
you know,
man.
I'm gonna get out there right now.
Yeah, he said everything just now. I think it's also tight too, because like being around MC Magic and all that, and you know, hearing Keem and just seeing his videos and all that, the dude's very good, and he follows like the same thing that Gary Vee, and I know MC Magic has been doing it for years,
Yeah.
way before Gary Vee,
Yeah.
but he respects his, you know,
Yeah.
I don't even want to call him fans, because fans
Yeah.
is like close to fanatics, but
Right.
you know, his family, his
like
supporters,
his supporters.
like
Yeah.
that's really it's all about, because like if you didn't have those,
Yeah.
you're nobody.
You're a nobody, and
so-
that's me about Magic. Ever since I've known him, he's been like such a hustler. Like, we used to like me and like another girl used to tour with him. Her name was Crystal Melody. She sings like the part on Lies. You can tell your lies, like that part. She was
I love that
sweetest
song.
girl. Yeah, and there was times like we would like be on the road together, and we would just him, Big D. Me and Crystal, and we would just drive radio station to radio station to radio station and like hustle the song, and then like be in the studio and then interviews. And Magic would always be like on his phone, the computer, writing fans back. And even when he was at shows, he would do like a meet and greet like 2-3 hours before the show, and then he would stay after the show 2-3 hours to
Sheesh.
sign autographs. And he would do that every show while all the other artists would leave, show up late, you know, or not respond to their fans online.
Yeah.
He was always doing that. And I watched that as a young girl, you know, like 16 years old, watching that. And he would always, you know, emphasize that, like, you know, without your supporters, you're nothing. You know, like these people go out of their way for you. And like a lot of times he would even say, you know, sometimes you get like hate mail or like people hating on you. And it would like make me upset. And he would say like, don't waste your time on the people that hate on you, but spend all your time like writing people back, the people that take out their time. Cause he would always tell me like, look, they got busy days too. They got kids, they got family, they got work, but they're taking time out for you. So you can always take time out for them.
Right.
And that always stuck with me. And that's what I mean, it's not like I have all these people hitting me up either, but like anyone who does, like, oh my gosh, like I always make sure I get back with them or whatever, because I think like, God, you like, if they say like, oh, you wrote me back, like, hell yeah, like you took out your time to write me.
Yeah.
That's dope though.
See,
Yeah,
I
course.
always think that that even if you don't have like 1,000 people writing you every day,
Yeah.
if you have one person that's writing you, like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing something right. You know what I
hell
mean?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
there's no better like affirmation that you're on the right path.
Yep.
If somebody takes time out of the day to say, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. There was a time in my career where I kind of quit. You know, I got married. We got married, had our first child, and things weren't going well in music. And you get to that point where I just sat there and I said, you know what? I've done everything I could in my career. I've been doing this since I was a little girl. Obviously, God's telling me it's not meant to be, you know, but of course, you know, my children come first, you know, and my husband, my children. So I just said, you know, I'm going to put full focus in that. I'm just done with music. And I remember I would still be writing to like, you know, my friends and family and all that stuff. And I remember one girl kept saying like, I miss hearing you sing or put out music. And I couldn't understand like, really, you know, but then I thought, and I remember my husband was telling me one day like, but you love to sing, you love to perform, like, instead of singing just so you can like make it or like be famous, like why don't you, so I can get like people, I can tell people I did it, you know, I'm not a failure. He's like, why don't you do it for yourself, because you love to do it so much, and for the people, if even it's just a couple people that really like love to hear you sing. And that like that struck with me, and I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Like I just loved. That's all I've known is music.
Right.
And so for if it's like 10 people that want to hear a track, or I just do it because it means like, wow, like I love to perform and you love to hear it. Like I'm good. So if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, I'm happy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good mentality to have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember when I the first time I shot my first music video, it was terrible.
No way.
But,
what was it called? Do you remember what it was called?
I shot it on a.
You probably like
I don't think I remember.
He's like, I don't remember.
You're
it.
like, I'm not gonna say that.
It's not on YouTube. Don't look for it, please.
I'm gonna look for it.
No, but it was shot on one of those, like, remember those flip camcorders?
Oh yeah.
The ones that you would click the button and the USB popped out of it.
Yes.
So I didn't shoot it vertically. I think I was smart enough to shoot it sideways. Like the way video's supposed to be shot. But I remember like. I must have charged like maybe $100 for the video. Yeah. And I felt like I made it. I was like, dude, I am on my way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's dope though.
Where it's like now that's funny to look back on.
Right.
But it's those little things that like it just makes you happy on the inside. And then also when you can just say like, oh, I didn't completely waste my time. Like I did make some money from it. Yeah. It's just one of those things that reaffirms like that you're doing what you love. That
you're doing what you love, and you can appreciate that moment so much more, and appreciate those stepping stones.
Yep.
Because look where you're at now.
Hey.
Morning dinner 2019. Yeah, morning dinner.
Definitely you gotta look at what you've done, because a lot of people miss that a lot. They're just like, I'm not doing shit.
You have to look at your progression.
Yeah, you have
to. You know
what
I mean? And I think what's one of those things, like people look at what we have, and they go like, oh, you guys have so much stuff, this and that, but it's like this happened overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we've been doing this. Yeah, we've been doing this for almost a decade. Like
Oh yeah.
We started off this, and I'm pretty sure you started the same way as everybody else did. You weren't born, and then you got like you didn't get like a record deal, or you didn't get like $10,000.
I didn't go on a show or have a brother or sister in the business.
You have to work for it, but at the end of the day, that's also what helps you appreciate your grind, is like the fact that you're making it happen on your own.
Right.
Do you write all your own songs?
I co-write pretty much all of them.
Okay.
There's been songs, of course, that I recorded that I didn't write. But I would say 90% of the songs that I have, I've co-written or written fully.
What's been your
I love that.
What has been your favorite experience writing a song? Like, what are your favorite song that I've written?
I always love to write about relationships, because like, I mean, maybe I'm just like dramatic, and I've always had so much drama in my life, and maybe I like the drama. But like, yeah, like it's always been about, things that like bases off of like heartbreak, or if it's being in love, or because I just think that's something that everyone can always relate to. And just being a girl and hearing about like girlfriends coming saying, like one of the songs I loved co-writing was called "You Made Me This Way" with a guy named Fingers.
Oh,
and it
Fingers
was
on
like,
the track.
Yeah,
he does the talk box too, right?
Fingers, yeah, he does a little bit
He's
of that.
so dope to me. Isn't he
He's
in
dope,
Japan right now or something?
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, I think the last time I heard he was.
I know that he was doing a lot of music for Empire, the show Empire.
Oh, was he?
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
that's what I heard.
Damn, doing it big.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but no, like I love this track, and it was like the lyrics were like, you call me crazy. What can I say? I'm going out of my head, but you made me this way. Because me and my girlfriends used to always be like, man, he's always saying that I'm crazy, but he made me that way. Like, if he didn't do the things that he did, I wouldn't be crazy. Like, girls always say that, or probably guys too. So
it's one of those
that
things
was like one of my favorite, and I even mentioned MySpace in it, so it's old.
It's one of those things
that
where
going on your MySpace page, like some stupid shit. But
like as an artist, you do write what you know about, right?
Yeah.
And that's how music comes across authentically.
For sure.
Like, I can't make a song about like being a baller and having
being
like,
a thug.
Being a thug, I couldn't do that.
I could obviously, like clearly.
You could.
I'm
you could
with the Sonic shirt on
and the little.
You should start rapping. Just do that auto tune mumble rap. You'll make it.
There we go. That's what I'm gonna do now. Try it.
Is there like a subject that you've always wanted to write about?
I don't know. I guess
that you haven't written about yet.
I mean, that I haven't written about.
She's like, you know what? I've been looking at the stock market.
I mean, actually, yeah. I would like to. I mean, eventually be able to write like I made it, and I'm sitting here with a Grammy, and I have all these.
Oh yeah.
I got all these coins in my tub or something like that. Or,
yeah. You want to have
wiping my cooler with dollars.
you want to have your Bruno Mars 24 karat magic moment.
I want that. I mean, I wouldn't mind that kind of song, Hey.
Who do you think has been your biggest influence in your life? Like as far as your career goes?
Oh, Magic. MC Magic, hands down. Down.
So aside from like kind of like being your mentor, what's some other advice that he's given you that's helped you like progress in your career?
I think he always sticks with believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You got to go out and get the bread yourself. Hustle, a hustle mentality. Put God first. Always, step forward with kindness before anything, and appreciate every moment. Appreciate, going to each radio station and have them play your song on Bump It or Dump It. And if it gets bumped, it gets on rotation. And if it gets dumped, then they basically kick you out the door. Appreciate all those little moments. Appreciate singing at like a wedding or a quince for like 10 people or 20 people, and then appreciate those moments when you hit a stage and it's like 30,000. I think all that, and watching him also, he's done it all. Like, he's a family man. He's stayed humble. He's hustled, and he continues to hustle. There was a time, like, I've known him since I was 16, where he was knocking down like the radio station doors, trying to get the song played, trying to get on shows. And now he's built his own empire where, him and Dee are the ones putting on the shows. Yep. And all the other artists are going to him, knocking on his door, trying to get on his shows. Right. All the radio stations are coming to him. Can we host your show? Can we be the one putting on like the advertising for your shows? Right. I think his thing too is he is built this empire in the Chicano market. When you watch the Latin Grammys, you don't really see Chicano artists like MC Magic or Little Rob or Capone, or Frost, the OG. You see a lot of, bachata music or, like Aventura or Jennifer Lopez. Pitbull, who are amazing. Right. But I think he's also trying to build an empire where he says like he's not going to stop until he makes that a part of the Latin Grammys. Right. Like, he makes that. And so he always teaching me just to shoot higher and believe in yourself, because like he tells me, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And look what he's doing now. Yeah. I mean, it's in him and Big D, are just so, I mean, I think that's mainly what he's instilled in me.
That's really nice. That's
as you can see, I'm a big fan.
I respect Magic a lot. I've been working with him since when was it, 2000? When was that that lowrider show he did out here? That was the first time I had met you, I think. Yeah, too. Yeah. The lowrider show with like Ice Cube and at the Cashman Center. I mean, I think that was like
2013, 11.
How did you guys meet? It
was just like that. Well, what happened was I was following him on Twitter. Yeah. And I took it upon myself to like he's not gonna respond. Screw it. I'm gonna send him a DM. Yeah. Hey, I'm a local Vegas videographer. I would love to shoot like a little highlight video. This is like I've been 2 months into shooting video, by the way. So I had no experience whatsoever. No. But I was like, I would love to shoot a little video for you, just to kind of have for you, and you can put it on Twitter or whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. Just kind of like trying to make that connection. And he DM'd me his Big D's email. Yeah. And then throughout the week, I was emailing back and forth with D. And then I got to meet him at the show. Like, he set me up with like a backstage pass or whatever. Yeah. Shot the video for him. Yeah. He loved it. And then he started giving me more work. Like, I'm like, kind of like doing things in Arizona. I brought Chuck with me once or twice.
That's twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's dope, yeah.
And then after that,
it's that though, right?
It's just been back and forth.
But look how talented you are. I mean, he looked out too. Yeah. And I did, because I got to start working with you through him. Like. Well,
I like to think that he doesn't work with people that don't take initiative. Oh no,
yeah, you can meet how many people hit him up to like work with him. Right. Like yeah.
I'm blessed that he's always like hitting me up to do these shows. I appreciate every opportunity. You know what I mean?
And you can tell you're a good person, and you too, Chuck. I'm like, I just met you, but you can tell you guys are genuine, and you have a good head on your shoulders, and you're professional, and you're good at your craft.
Chuck's a hustler. He works more than anybody I know. Like,
that's dope.
Like he's on that level where he's always like he's always traveling and always doing stuff too.
I know. Thank you.
What has been your favorite collab of 2018?
Oh.
2018. I mean, definitely, I would say like so far the one with. I mean, I've had so many with Magic, so I'll give someone else a shot here. But
Sorry, Magic.
Obviously, he's my favorite.
have you done any new collaborations with Magic in 2018 though?
Yeah, we have a few things coming.
But it's not out though yet.
Not out yet.
Okay. Well, what's out that you?
Definitely the song I just did with Welby.
Wish
I would
You
say.
Well?
And then we also did another song, me and him, that I really love. It's called Pager and a Payphone, and he hasn't put it out yet. But the reason why I loved it so much, because it's like a gangsta song.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of hood. Like I kind of felt like a female Nate Dogg for a minute.
So
like
West
I
Coast
felt
beat
dope.
and
Yeah,
everything?
I was like, I'm like badass when I did it until I
Bring it
came
back.
home with my glasses and started playing Super Mario and drinking my hot tea, and I was like, well, okay, I'm not gonna
Never mind.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Short-lived.
Not as I felt pretty gangster there, but I thought it was cool because it really took me like out of like my comfort zone, and I did something that usually all the music that I do is always like kind of like that popish R&B, you know, and this was like a real like kind of like one of those like, you know, I guess like urban beat, and I just thought it was
Damn,
really
I really
cool.
want to hear it now.
It's dope.
'Cause I
Yeah.
love West Coast
I
stuff.
you guys
gotta
have a
hit him up
release?
and
Do you guys have a release date planned for it?
We don't, but I'm
Okay.
gonna have to ask him. But I mean, you guys should definitely have him on your show and have him play the song for you. But
Premiere.
you're gonna no, but I know
Exclusive.
you're gonna laugh at me when you hear it.
Why is
What
it?
do you-
Is it like the style of the beat? Like,
Not even like the way that I sang it.
yeah. Is it like very 90s?
No, I'm
Okay.
talking like it's like me going in like being Nate Dogg on like Warren G's Regulators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Like
be
you'd
very
be like,
interesting to hear.
what is Sophia doing? Like,
Whoa, I definitely want to
like
hear
what
it.
is she? What is
Like,
she
hey,
the
doing?
mystery.
You would probably laugh. 'Cause you'd be like,
You never know though.
what is
That could be the wave. You know what I mean?
that
Like
could
somebody.
be dope, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Next thing you know, Kali Uchis hears it and then she makes a style just like it. You know what I mean? Like you
That'd
never
be
know in
dope,
this
yeah.
day and age. Have you had any crazy experiences happen like in your music career that you've just been like, well, I can't believe that happened? Whether it's like
good or bad,
either
freaky?
good or bad, freaky, like scared you, made you happy.
So I've
like-
had a couple things that stand out right away. One thing was I was doing a show in Portland, Oregon with Magic. It was one of the lowrider shows, and I fell off the stage.
Oh,
Like I legit fell off, and like I had like a mark on my chin, my nose, like my mouth, my gum was bleeding.
Were you just not paying attention? And like,
Yeah, I was like, just honestly, like
yeah,
if
in it.
anyone who knows me, I'm super klutzy.
Oh,
Like
shit.
there's so you ever like backstage and you hear D going like, oh no, or like
Yeah.
he's always like, oh, you had to wear them tall ass heels. Like I am klutzy. Like anytime I'm trying to be like sexy or like walk like dope, like I always end up tripping or falling. Like it's not cute at all. So that's why I there's been a few times, but I fell then, and then one time I was doing another Art LeBeau show, and I was that's when I was 6 months pregnant with Trey, my firstborn.
Oh no.
And I tripped, and I didn't fall off the stage, but
Yeah.
like I fell hard, like on my face
Yeah.
on the stage, and everyone was laughing.
My goodness.
But I was like, I'm okay. And I of course I went the next day to get checked to make sure the baby
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He was good, obviously.
Wait,
you know?
Wait,
But-
real quick though.
Yeah.
Over like, how do you compose yourself after? Like,
Yeah.
how do you do it?
I
How
just
do you,
laugh at myself.
okay, you
I just get a little like, oh
Do you
shit.
say, "Oh, shit, my
Yeah,
bad, y'all"?
no, I was like, oh shit.
It's like we
was like,
we
you
can't pretend that
guys-
didn't just happen.
Or I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like if I showed anything down there, and I'll just be like, don't worry, it's not a good show. It's tore up. It's nothing exciting. Trust me, you know.
Wait,
Yeah,
how high
that'd
up?
be like-
How high up was that?
Oh,
stage?
it was fucking hot. Oh, the one in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
It was that one.
Because I've seen a
I would
couple of the
probably
stages.
say like where like your counter is at.
So that's around
It's
4,
not too
4
bad.
feet.
Yeah, it
for the
wasn't
people
bad.
listening.
Okay.
It wasn't.
That's
Yeah.
pretty high.
I've seen some of
Because
these
some
stages.
some stages are like the one at the Art LeBeau show. Like that was super high, and I would have been like really hurt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 I remember the one the Magic did
Yeah, it is one.
in El Paso recently. That one was
Yeah.
high.
It was super
And
high.
So when you said you fell, I was like, it automatically like you fell 12 feet. Bro, no, it wasn't 12 feet. It was,
Yeah,
it was
I
probably
know.
like
Like
6. It was
six,
I
probably
just
six.
yeah.
broke my neck. That was it.
I like your little ears, by the way.
Oh,
Are
thank you. Well, it's because can I mention that we're
Yeah, go
okay?
ahead.
So
yeah.
like we're recording this on New Year's Eve. Well, it's gonna be New Year's Eve tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to wear something festive. That's me though. I'm
Yeah.
always like I dress up at my house, yo.
By yourself
so-
on Mario. That's right.
Just walking around with sparklers.
Like swear, like because I have my daughter who's just turned 2. So I'm so tiny. If anyone like can see, like I have a small ass head, like I'm really little. So like a lot of her headbands like fit me. So I'll be putting on I'll be putting on like her little headbands or like her bows because I love like all that like glitter, like, you know, fancy stuff. And I'll be like in some sweats with like a glittery bow. And Chad will come home, my husband, and be like, "What are you doing?
Why are you wearing the baby's
or like my
clothes?
I'll be like, "What are you doing?" Or like, this is my son's t-shirt.
It's a Sonic t-shirt.
My 6-year-old son's t-shirt.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn, and you can fit it?
Yeah, that's how tiny
crazy.
I am. I know.
Yeah, I got a big ass
So
head,
sometimes I'll like go through his closet and be like, "Oh, that's cute." You know, or like, "Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, dope." You know.
I gotta put a couple T-shirts together, stitch them
So
together.
weird.
If it's a 6-year-old, I'm grabbing 6 of those T-shirts and stitching them together. Like, bro, that's nuts.
Hakeem, that's funny.
So you're a mom. You have 3 kids, right?
Yes.
How do you what has been the biggest challenge balancing your life as a wife, a mom, you know, artist?
Yeah, it is difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It's very tiring because, you know, a lot of people will sit there and say like, "Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. You just stay at home." Like that is not the case. Like it is continuously, because I'm also a clean freak and I'm a hands-on mom. You know, so especially when I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old, it's constantly cooking, cleaning, entertaining. Cooking, cleaning, entertaining. Then you're running, you know, here and to from schools and then classes and then meetings. And then during the day, like sometimes, you know, when I go to do recordings, I always record, it's either in Arizona or it's in California. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times I bring the kids with me. So I have a good support system where a lot of the people I record with are kind of like family. So they help me with the kids. Right. But, you know, you can imagine you don't get that downtime to like take a nap, or you don't get that downtime. Sometimes I don't get that downtime to even like put on my makeup, you know, because this one just pooped, and then this one is hungry, and then this one just hit this one in the face, and then this one just broke something in the room. Yeah. So it's continuous. So it is definitely
full-time
exhausting.
job.
Like when we go to the shows, just a couple times, you know, my thank the Lord for my mother, who's like my best friend. But
she's amazing.
She's amazing. Yeah, you met my mom. She's amazing.
She's so sweet, man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's.
I met her a couple times now. A couple of shows. Yeah.
And she'll like help me out with the kids. Sometimes she'll say, "You know what? I'll come and watch the kids for a couple hours. You go do the show," or you know, stuff like that. Or she'll come with me and say like she'll help me in the back room with the kids. You know, but it's hard because you know, I'll go do like a sound check, and they'll be running around, and then as soon as after sound check, I'm busy doing, you know, handling with them the entire time. Then I'm trying to get in what I got to do, you know, for music or the show, prepping for the show. And then I got to get all 3 of them ready, bathed, showered, dressed, fed, changed, whatever. And then I'm trying to get myself ready, you know, so it's not like I don't have a nanny to help me with the kids or a maid to come help me with the house, or, you know, so it's like taking
all you got to do is go down to Mexico, man. I swear, like I'm
Mexican Italian. I have to do it.
Like my parents.
My mom's like clean. My dad's like cook.
Did you know people actually do that though? Like my parents when we were little, my mom and dad were always working. And there was nobody to take care of us. So my mom had a friend down in Mexico. Yeah. And she basically came down and lived with us for like 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Took care of us, like cooked, like made us breakfast and all that stuff. I
bet the food was bomb.
Dude, I had those huevitos con tortillas, papitas. That's why I'm like this. I never missed a meal, y'all. That's
That sounds bomb.
But basically, like the way we paid her, we just basically like, you know, we gave her a little bit of money, and then we basically just paid for her expenses to be here. Right. But yeah, she's back down in Mexico. And
is that a babysitter or a maid? What is that considered?
Everything, right? Nanny, cook, everything.
I feel like maid is almost like demeaning.
Right.
Is it?
Do you feel like
it
like,
is?
You know what I mean? Like when like my mom's always like, I'm not your maid. You know what I mean? Like so it's like I'm always like maid is kind of like, or for like really rich people.
Kind of like well, caretaker. I would say like or like. I mean, we would just say like your family, right?
Yeah.
You just call
basically
her
like a tia.
We said tia. Your tia. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But she would help out a lot, and especially with like both my parents working, it was nice to have.
That's dope.
That's really nice.
I can't imagine you doing it all on your own, and then also doing your music and trying to like hustle and grind at that.
Yeah, it's been difficult. That's how I ended up like in the hospital. That one time I got the meningitis, and I ended because I was. I started getting back into the music. Yeah. This was about a couple years ago, and then we were supposed to do a week tour, and we were supposed to do a few shows. It was like Amanda and Magic and Bash and all that. And the day before, I was supposed to fly into Arizona to start like the little week tour or whatever. All of a sudden, I'm at my son's baseball game. Started getting really sick. I didn't know what happened. Started getting lightheaded, and I started getting like this real bad pain like in the back of my neck, and I couldn't move my head. It was the weirdest thing. So I just thought, my mom kept saying, you're just tired. Like you need to get sleep. Yeah. The pain started getting so bad. I went to the hospital. They did a spinal tap on me. They're like, we think you have meningitis. I don't even know what
is meningitis?
So when they came in, they're like, we did we're going to do a spinal tap. And then the results came back. They're like, you got positive for meningitis. I was like, well, we had to Google it. Me and Chad are on there on Google. Yeah. And then next thing I know, I was in there for 2 weeks, and I couldn't see my kids because it was like contagious. Yeah. So they had to come in with like the things, and I couldn't leave for 2 weeks, and I couldn't see my kids. And so the only people that came to visit me were my mom and Chad. Yeah. And I have the most amazing husband, and he just like really helped me out and took over. And my mom was there like while he was at work, because he works graveyard shift. She would come in and help, with the kids and watch the kids. And I was dying because the worst thing, I couldn't see them for 2 weeks. But then I didn't figure out how, and they said, honestly, you can actually get it from just like being run down. Yeah. And like it was somehow in the air, and like it hit your body because you were so run down. Yeah. So
I bet your stress has something to do with it too.
So what is it just a sickness, like a fever, or is it a cold?
It's like a bacteria that so they have viral meningitis. And then they have bacterial meningitis. Bacterial meningitis is when you can actually like go into like a coma or go brain dead.
What?
Or
it's a serious thing. It's not one of those. You didn't have a cold.
Look it up. Meningitis or viral meningitis is more like you're like, I'm good. Nope. I'm not gonna open the door to those demons.
Get off Google Images right now.
I believe in law of attraction. I'm not trying to retract that.
I'm not putting that on my
viral.
pad.
So that's like basically the stage 1 type thing where you can actually they give you so many antibiotics. So you get IV antibiotics. So they're giving me like IVs of antibiotics every hour on the hour for like 10 days straight to get it out of you. And I thank the Lord I'm good.
Wow.
And you haven't had it since or anything?
No, I think it's like once you get it, you can never get it again.
One of like chicken pox.
Yeah.
Or is that a myth? Because they say once you get chicken pox, you can never get it again.
And I've actually heard of people that have gotten chicken pox more than once, right?
Yeah. But is that at that point, what is that called? Shingles?
Yeah.
You get when you're older?
It evolves.
It's like the same thing, but it's for older people.
That's smart.
It's like a Pokemon. It evolves.
So they just call it something else.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if anything, you could say you went viral in 2018. I'm gonna go with whatever you say.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it.
Legit viral.
Like if anybody asks you, have you ever gone viral? I did one time in 2018.
You're right.
And then just end the conversation there.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Is there anything?
It's cold outside.
It's cold. It's cold in here right now. You gotta turn the heater on, man.
No, not right now because
I'm getting cold.
It's gonna be too loud. Sorry for the recording.
Is there anything about the music industry that you wish you could change?
Gosh. I mean,
everything.
I don't. Yeah, right. I wish I was more involved. No, sure. I wish I started American Idol.
I have a couple of friends. I have a couple of friends who've done American Idol.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of them.
How did it work? How did it do?
Some of them.
Is it legit? Is it real? Where you can actually?
Yeah.
I've always thought like you actually show up in line, or that's just all for like looks.
No, you do.
Yeah, I think you really do it, but I think how they choose, they do choose kind of a little bit. Like,
yeah, because I don't
surprise me, but
I don't think
so many talented singers though. I watch The Voice, and I'm like, holy crap! Like some of these people are amazing.
It's like who has the worst story.
Yeah, that's true though. Whoever
you're
has
blind,
the saddest
your kid's
story.
blind, and your kid's blind.
Have you ever seen that?
So you're living out of your car currently with 5 kids. All right, you're in.
And they're all blind. They're all blind and mute. Yeah. All right, get on.
Have you ever seen that?
Oh my god!
You ever seen that Key and Peele skit?
Huh?
It's a Key and. You know who Key and Peele are?
Yeah, heck yeah, yeah. I love them. They're hilarious.
They did a skit on their show where the guy was auditioning to be a dancer or something.
Oh,
and then he starts dancing and he's terrible.
Yeah,
he's bad. But he's like, oh, let me bring out my daughter. She blind. And then he brings out her daughter's daughter. He was like, I have to take care of both of them. I'm a single dad. He's like, I have no formal training, and then like the whole skit goes by like 3 minutes.
Like, you're going to Vegas.
Like, you're going. Get your tickets.
That is the best. I gotta post that. I'm gonna post that.
Yeah.
Oh
I'll send you a link to it. That'd be funny.
That's awesome. That's so true, though.
I don't know. I've asked this question to like a lot of people, and when like usually they'll say like, I wish it was like more equally. Like they feel like a lot of people feel like the music industry is very male dominated. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that, or do you feel like it's across the board?
I don't know. I would say across the board because there's so many female artists out there.
There's so many that are killing it right now.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite female artist right now that's like in the top 40?
Female artist?
Yeah.
I am so in love right now with Ariana Grande.
Okay.
I think she is the shit. I think she's beautiful. I think she can actually sing.
Yeah.
She
composes herself very well.
Yeah, and she's hilarious. Ever seen like her on Saturday Night Live or like doing skits?
She does
like
the voices or what is it?
She's funny. Yeah, she does like different impersonations, and she's actually funny. It's kind of like when I saw Bruno Mars, and I was like, not only can he sing his ass off and dance his ass off and write hits.
Yeah.
But he can act, and he's funny, and he can hold a conversation. You know, because some artists you see and they have like no personality.
Yeah.
Or they can't act, or they can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think like, oh my gosh, like she's like a breath of fresh. She's like a sunshine to me. When I think of rainbows.
She also does come from like an acting background too,
and she
right?
comes from that.
Like
so
she
I love
originally was
her.
on Nickelodeon.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she was originally on Nickelodeon.
Right.
What was
she was in a show called
why.
like Victoria Justice or something
Victoria
like that.
Justice, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I never watched it because that was too young for me. But
my nieces used to watch it all the time.
Did they?
Yeah.
I knew it was like a big show, right?
Yeah.
But I
Huge.
mean, and like my all-time favorite female artist is J-Lo. I just idolize her. And I think when she did the movie Selena, it made me like her more, if that makes any more sense.
Yeah.
But I think she's just like the epitome of a woman.
Do you feel like it only works towards your benefit if you can like sing, dance, act, and do all that thing?
I think it helps.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of times people will say, you know, there was times like, okay, like in my career when I was going to different labels, the first thing they would say after I sing is, "Can you dance?"
Oh, really?
You know, oh yeah, like can you dance? You know.
So it's a thing that people look for.
Yeah, they look for that. They look for that total package. So, but I think I notice in this generation, and I'm seeing a lot more indie artists that are just coming out with like just a guitar or singing more folk or just doing like the dance scene. I think is really overpowering now, right? So you're not really getting like the Britney Spears "Hey Me Baby One More Time" moves, but they're just out there, you know, just singing a song, or more like these younger kids kind of just want to hear you belt out a song. You notice that, or am I off?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm not really in that, but I kind of noticed that where I'm seeing more artists coming out with like a guitar or a piano.
Yeah.
And it's like a big hit. Before, like growing up in my generation, it was like the 90s. It was like the pop. It was the Britney Spears that sing. But
even if you look
Christina.
at Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, like you know they originally all came up from that Disney show, right?
They did though, right?
It was that,
the Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, I mean Disney, yo. Let me tell you something. I'm 32 years old. If Disney called me and was like, "You so small, you could wear like a bear outfit and dance around in some overalls," I'm gonna throw that bear outfit on, some overalls, sing Barney songs, Mickey Mouse, whatever I have to do, because Disney is no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone comes up from Disney. Demi Lovato, Ariana Grande, but of course, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears.
See, but that's the thing though. And
the Jonas, what were they called?
Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
Yep. And now they're all split up, but they're still
Cheetah Girls.
it.
Adrienne Bailon. That was like her. I mean, I knew her from 3LW, and I love her.
3LW,
you know?
is that the group she was in?
But back in the day, and then she became more famous when she signed on to Disney and did Cheetah Girls.
Wow.
Do you remember that
Yep.
from like your family? Maybe watched it.
Because we're sisters, we're something like that, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
It's been a while
I knew
since
her
I've seen that
3LW.
I don't know though.
Disney
like,
is no joke.
here's my issue with Disney and how they're like they groom these kids. You know what I mean? Like these kids are taught from a very young age that about the business, and then this is how you do it. You put on a fake smile, you sign autograph. Like they're groomed to be superstars.
Yeah,
and that's why you have so many that have messed up childhoods, right? Like they turn to drugs
because they're working so much.
Because they're constantly working and they don't get to experience that.
They don't get to actually grow up and
they don't have that. That's why I think like
so they go crazy. Yeah,
like the perfect time to kind of like start getting like famous and start like, you know, adapting to that lifestyle is when you're like mid-20s at least. You know what I mean? Because by then you've developed yourself as a person. Like you know how to handle situations.
I mean, you can kind of say the same thing because, like you said, you're young. You're young and stupid. It's a real thing.
It's
like
true. It's true.
You mature so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've changed so much.
Yeah.
I could tell you right now, like where I used to do like vlogs on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I deleted all that stuff. I was like, man, I can't believe I used to be such a like weird kid. Like I was
fucking dweeb.
I was just doing dumb stuff.
Okay,
like, and
I'm still a nerd.
I was cursing. I was like I was just doing dumb stuff. And like I look at it now, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Do you ever get those like Facebook notifications like this year or today, 10 years ago?
To remind me of what a delinquent I was. Man, no, I was like a bad, like I was in and out of juvie. I was
damn.
Would you ever think that of me?
No. Do you have like a Thug Life tattoo on you somewhere?
No.
You wanna?
She has like a she actually used to be an MS-13.
Yeah.
She's got the whole body tattooed right now.
I got like teardrops coming up.
She's like, the makeup's covering it right now.
I got horns in here under my hair.
Oh my
goodness. No, I was just like, I was just a dumb, like you said, dumb teenager making dumb decisions, and I was like not dumb to where like I was like getting it like to like a mean spirited. I was just making dumb decisions.
Yeah.
And I was always partying.
I always say though,
so
like,
I'd gotten a lot of trouble just partying.
Like I am grateful that that we were never ever famous, because the stuff we were doing or saying was pretty dumb. It's like I'm glad nobody was watching.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like to think if anyone heard you actually say the things you say.
How do you feel about like the things that are coming out nowadays? Like for example, if somebody's about to get famous or somebody's about to get big, they'll go, "Oh, look at this racist thing that they said in 2005."
Back then.
You know what I mean? Like on MySpace or on Twitter. Like, do you think stuff like that should come back up, or do you think like people change and they grow?
I mean, God, that's hard because I get into my feelings because I wasn't raised that way to be racist. I wasn't in a household. You know, sometimes you hear things in a household that come off racist.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised that way. And I through my life, I was never like that personally. So that really bothers me. And I have a kind heart, but I can be, I can hold things, and I'm kind of like an eye for an eye, to where like I get angry when I see like racist people or stuff like that. I think that comes from like a place of hate. And sometimes I'm like, like I'm glad that shit came out, you know? But at the same time, I do know from experience people that were that way that have changed and, you know, evolved and see things differently now than they did then. You know, I had certain people, not in my immediate family, but in certain people in my family that felt that way, you know, towards different races and stuff. And they're different now. So, and I know that they're like good people with good hearts. So
yeah, for sure.
I do think that they change, but at the same time, I mean, I kind of think it's maybe just a way for, you know, it's a good thing because it can teach like this younger generation too to really be careful what you say.
Yeah.
You know, and use it as a learning tool.
Yeah.
But see, I think you're always going to have hard-headedness. And
but
you're going to be like, I don't fucking want to listen to anybody.
Yeah,
you know
I don't care.
I mean? And I don't care. It's not going to bother me.
You know what? And there's people like Danielle Bregoli, that girl that cashed me outside.
Oh, that cashed me outside. Yeah,
who disrespected her mom
now.
on TV, but then she's got 20 million followers. And
but you know, she got a lot of backlash for that because she was kind of trying to come off as someone that she wasn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, and all of a sudden, it's like, because she's a little white girl, you know, she's like famous, you know? So, I mean,
I don't know, man. It's tricky. Like, I would never act the way that she does. But
let me tell you something, because you're Hispanic.
Yeah.
You're like my mom.
Oh no,
I wouldn't be alive.
I wouldn't be alive.
Like
right
my
now.
mom. Like let me tell you, like there would be no cameras to come into our house and be like, watch how she throws the shoe at me or hits me. Like my mom would beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
She'd beat the shit out. You know, like
That
there would be no
chancla would be
camera.
flying.
Yeah, like there was no cameras. Like my dad and there was never like even to this day. I'm 32 years old. We grew up. You had to respect your parents. You had to respect your elders. Even if it was, I mean, my grandma could slap us. We could have someone that wasn't even in our family and they were like considered an elder.
Yep.
You weren't ever allowed to talk back to them. We had to call our friends that, you know, you had friends call like your parents like, oh, her name's Sue. So, hi, Sue.
Yeah.
my mom would beat the shit out of me if I said of the first name I had Mrs. Robinson, Mr. Robinson, you know, like things or like that.
Did you ever have an issue doing this? Like what, because I know I got backlash for it when I was like a teenager and I used tú instead of usted.
Oh, usted.
To my mom.
Yeah, because it's not respectful.
Yeah.
So you have to say usted. Yeah, tú was like, it was like more like you weren't being respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would ask your friend.
Usted is more like,
but
you're talking to your parents, your elders, you said, or like company, you know, usted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like same in Thai. You say kab at the end, like kam kum kap. I never knew what it meant. I was like, what? What?
That's
and I was
funny.
like, oh, it's for your elders.
Yeah.
But I guess like also too, like, is that like saying sir and ma'am?
No, it's more like, right. Maybe like if you're usted, like you're saying you, like I'm talking to you. Like we could say like, well, is that just would say like tú to you? But if you're talking to like, if I met your mother, I would say usted, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just a more respectful way. It's like a softer way of saying you. You know what I mean?
More respectful.
Yeah. I mean, you can even hear it when I say tú, it sounds like hard.
Yeah. Like.
But when I say usted, it's like more nice. You know what I mean? Like bro, it's such a technicality.
It's true.
And I didn't learn it till I was like a teenager, so I remember getting
so
backlash
tú pendejo is like super disrespectful.
All right, we're not
going. Depends on how softly you say pendejo.
All right, back on track here because we get very distracted.
I know. And sorry, I talk so much. You guys.
We do this. If you watch our show, like,
you have to tell me to stop talking because I ramble. Sometimes I do like interviews and they'll say, try to just like, you know, talk or like, and I'll say, no, I talk too much and I'll keep going on. So you have to tell me to stop.
Sophia's like, put your hand up to me. Like
just
literally.
Just do the hand gesture.
Let me ask you this question. If somebody wants to collaborate with you, what is something that you look for in when they reach out to you? Like, what do you expect from them? Like, do you just collaborate with anybody who sends you a song? Are there certain things that they need to have already? What's the process like?
If it's I mean, right off the bat, if it's someone that's like I consider like friends or fam, I'll do it. Because it's like, okay, you're like your family.
Okay, because I got this track for you, Sophia.
Hey, for you, absolutely.
No, I don't make music. I'm just messing with you.
I would for you. But in general, like off of that, I think I like to look at, you know, what kind of content of music they're doing. Yeah. And you know, like, okay, with Welby, I normally probably wouldn't work with someone like Welby because I've never worked with someone that is more like. You know, kind of like he's not like into gangsta music, but I guess like more urban, right? With a harder sound, harder image. Right. And he's so talented and amazing. Big D, Magic's manager, actually introduced me to him and was like, you should work with him. And for them to, you know, say you should work with this artist is like a big thing. So, and then also too, like he's super talented and I became like a fan of his music. But I like to work with people that, you know, you can tell like are good people. They're not just, you know, talking about, you know, I'm gonna F this hoe and shoot this mother effer and I'm gonna, you know, like I'm not into. So I look at their content.
There has to be some content.
They have, they have to, you know. It seems like in like business smart, like business wise, like seems like, you know, they have like, you know, somewhat of a nice, decent following, or not even that they have a good following, but maybe that they just like you can tell like they're a good hustler. Or they're really they have a good passion about music and they're really, you know, putting their foot out there and they're I can tell that they're talented. I want to work with people like that.
So let me ask you this
question. That like inspire me, like, wow, that's cool.
Do you ever like creep on their Instagram and go like, I wonder what they're posting, and then go like, I would do a collaboration with them or I wouldn't? Does that ever factor into it?
I've never really. I mean, I think. I've more if someone tells me about someone like, oh, you should check this person out, this girl or this guy, that's when I'll go and check them out and I'll be like, wow, like that person's dope, or that guy or girl, you know, because I'm definitely I fan out with like a lot of different people, like if they're just like local or whatever. Like if I become like, I'll like someone could say, oh, check out this girl, she like sings or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll look and I'll be like, wow, like she's so dope. Like I'll download all her music, I'll, you know, follow them, all that stuff, or like I'll post one of their videos on my page, you know, because I just fan out, or so I'll definitely, I don't say like creep, but I'll more like you know, be like I'm a fan, so I'll watch what you post. But sometimes it's usually if someone hits me up, or I'll notice like a new follower and I see that they do music, I'll check them out. You know, if they say I want to work with you, I'll check them out, you know, and see.
I only ask because like as a photographer, like I always have people who do hit me up for like photo shoots.
Oh.
So like what I do.
I was curious about that.
Right. I look at their feed. Like if I see that they don't really. All they do is post like sushi pictures. They're not really models or like not really doing. They're not really pursuing a career in that. Like it does dictate whether or not I do work with them.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like for example, like you know if they're like if they're just posting like food pictures or like selfies at the mall, but they have no prior work related,
right?
Like it does kind of factor into it. So like that's why I kind of like I would imagine as an artist, you're like I gotta see they're doing something.
They're doing something and really hustling and trying to get out there.
Like that's their passion that they decided to pursue. And
will you work? Because I notice a lot of the models that you photograph have like really big followings.
Yeah.
Do you work with like if someone hits you up and say they don't have a big following but they have a few good photos, will you be like, hey, you know, I'll that's cool.
Well, the chief flipped the tables on us. Huh? She's interviewing us now.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
The tables are turned.
No, you're good. Yeah, like
Sophia Maria podcast.
So like
this is called lunchtime afternoon.
The lunch after morning dinner. There we go. No, but I do have people who always hit me up. Like I'm one of those guys that doesn't care about followings. Yeah. Like if a girl hits me up and she's got 100,000 followers.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like, and she's like, oh, I would love to like collaborate, which is like a free thing. Like she's not gonna pay me. She just
is that what
photos.
That means?
Yeah. So like when someone wants to collaborate with you, it's essentially like you're giving me your looks, I'm giving you the photos for free. So it's like a back and forth. It's just a free thing. No one's getting paid off of it.
Wow.
In photography, it's called TFP.
Okay.
So it's trade for print or time for print or something like that.
Okay.
So it's essentially like I'm giving you free photos. You're letting me use your image so I can promote my work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so like what I used to do is like if a girl had like 20,000-30,000 followers or 100,000 followers, like it's free shoot because she's gonna give you exposure and all that stuff, right? But I found out after years and years of doing this, that really there's no such thing as exposure when it comes to beautiful women and a male photographer,
right?
Because she'll post a photo to her 100,000 followers or whatever,
right?
And they're all dudes who just want to see naked photos.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't care about a photographer.
Yeah.
They don't care about a male photographer. So it's like really doesn't work that way.
Smart.
So like, I'll work with anybody, you know, if it's paid, you know what I mean? Granted, they're, you know, good people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like if a model's like a dope model and I can see like she's pursuing her you know modeling career, and she's got like a portfolio of images and you can tell that she's actually putting time into it, then like of course that factors into it, for sure. But I mean, cool. I won't ever say like I won't work with somebody. You know, I mean, of course, like
that's kind of like the same with me. Like if you see that they're really pushing and they're making good posts and
and of course you also understand like scheduling and all that stuff. Like if you guys have time for it, you know, I mean that always factors into it. But that's crazy. That whole world is the whole world of the entertainment industry.
Well, because like the whole modeling thing. You know, I don't know that life. But you're Oh yeah, you know, real supermodel here.
Hey, we did a photo shoot the other day. Yesterday. For people who are listening to the podcast, it'd be last week. She killed it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well, you also he had to tell me a lot of things to do because I'm so awkward. Like I have like two like poses that I do, but I'm old school. Like I'll do like the old pose, like we go to the Meadows Mall and like you go like
the glamour shots.
The glamour shots I still do. Yeah. You know, or like I have my one pose, you know, that I stick my cool out to make it look like I have like a bigger butt, you know. But like he'll have to be like, okay, put your arm here, because I'm not like I told you, I'm so awkward.
Yeah, Team's very good at directing.
No, he's so good. Yeah. You're so talented. You're so talented. And check your You
guys are humbling me.
I might.
I have to ask you, like, because you're really busy with being a mom, being a wife, being an awesome music creator, and doing all these shows and all that. Do you ever have time to like just chill and like watch Netflix
or play Mario
or play Super Mario?
Once in a blue day.
I do. I do. I mean, it's not as much time as I would like.
Is there any like Netflix show that you're binging right now, or that you recently binged that you like to talk about?
Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, other than like, like I'm binging on, it's not on Netflix, but This Is Us. I'm like a huge fan. You watch This Is Us?
I think I've heard of it.
Oh my God, you guys haven't seen This Is Us?
Is it on Hulu or something?
No, it's on. I think it's on Fox.
Okay.
I think it's on Fox. But it's you literally will. You have to watch This Is Us. It is amazing.
I think I saw a trailer for it.
I love This Is Us. I love Ballers. We watch, of course, Game of Thrones. Waiting for that to come back on.
Ooh, it's coming back.
I'm so excited for Game of Thrones. Like
it's
that
ending.
Is like,
I'm so sad.
I know,
but I'm also so excited.
We're also watching Narcos right now.
Wait, Narcos Mexico or Narcos?
Both.
Oh,
both. Yeah. So the thing, a lot of the things with us, like on Netflix, we can go back and forth to it, but we also have DirecTV. So if we find something like on one of the HBO channels or something like that, we'll record it and then just go back to it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any of those guilty pleasure shows like my 90 Day Fiance or something like that?
Oh yeah, no, I love that. Do you watch that show?
I've watched one episode.
I watched that show and I'm watching a new one. You ever watch Love After Lockup?
No, what's that?
No.
Okay,
What?
so it's basically
Love
like a
After
lot of,
Lockup?
believe it or not, Love After Lockup, yo. Believe it or not, a lot of people like write to like the inmates. And like for like one relationship, this woman was writing, like she went on, they have a prison like profile dating app or dating website. So swear, you can actually go on this website and you can like flip, like you're flipping through Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder.
But it's
Tinder.
for prison. It's
I'm so old school. I'm like, you can flip through Tinder. And you can come across a guy and he'll say like, oh, I'm 32. I'm incarcerated for this many years. I'll be out in this. And it shows like different pictures of him, and then you can click on if you want to write to him or not.
Like in the jail, like in the cell.
In the jail, they'd be writing to like they got like groupies, and then like sometimes like a relationship will, and they'll like send him money, and like one guy he's
like for the commissary. Like,
yeah, and like one guy gets like $1,000 to $5,000 a week from just different women sending him money.
He's
Swear
prison
to you,
famous. You can monetize anything.
Wow.
Swear to you.
There is no excuse.
So no,
you hear
like
that?
this show is amazing. So like this particular couple, like he got out and they'd never seen each other in person. They've only like written each other for like 3 years. And he got out and she's like going crazy over him. She picks him up and she's like, we're gonna go get married. And they get married and he's already like, breaking the rules. Like
wow.
That show is like amazing. And then like I love like the Housewives. I'm like a Housewives fanatic where like I can watch like Housewives of Atlanta, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then like I love like old school stuff. Like every like night I watch Family Guy is like my go-to.
I haven't seen Family Guy in a minute.
Yeah, me
are they still making new episodes?
No, they're just reruns right
Okay.
now. And I can watch that every night before I go to bed. I watch Family Guy.
I wonder if they're still
Like
making
I have it
episodes of
recorded and
Simpsons.
everything, and I'll just watch them over and over again before I go to sleep.
Dang.
Because it makes me laugh.
It's just that sound too. It's just like white noise. It's like,
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like how you watch The Office.
It's like my
when you go to
favorite
sleep.
thing.
Yeah. Wait, do you watch The Office?
I used to.
Okay.
Is it still on?
No,
I used to watch
no.
I was gonna say
it ended back in like 2013.
Yeah, that was good. I like The Office.
But I'll watch it as like a background show. So like even if I'm like editing photos or video or whatever it is, I'll have it playing in the background, and I can pop in at any episode, any time.
Yep.
And I'll be caught up. Like I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I know who's,
Because it's better if you know the show, because then you won't like wake up.
You don't
watch
care.
It.
It's
You're
true.
like, I know this episode.
Yeah,
like the back of
I
my
can
head.
actually just listen to it
Yeah.
and like and that's how it is with like Sex in the City.
never watched it.
You never, no. You guys never, No, I know everything. I know that by like heart.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm trying to. There's
I don't know.
a lot of shows that I'm watching right now, and I just went blank.
I'm still thinking of the
Mayans.
Love After
I'm watching
Lockup.
Mayans.
Oh,
Yeah,
the one with the
it's like
gang.
it's like the new Sons of Anarchy, but
There
it's
we
like the Mexican gangs and stuff. It's dope.
Is it good?
It's dope. I love it.
Okay.
A few of my I know a few people that don't like it, you know, but I really like it.
I keep thinking back to that Love After Lockup.
No, it's
you're
crazy. You
talking
have
about.
to check
But
it out.
but what I think about is like, who is the guy who's
Taking
in
the
charge of like
photos?
taking their photos and setting up their profiles?
You're right.
I can
know
just
what I
see
mean?
a full.
But I
like
always thought it was is that's even legal that they can have?
You know what though? I
here-
will say this, and I will spoil this for everybody though,
Oh.
because if you don't know this by now, you should. A lot of those shows are fake. You know, like if you watch Caso Cerrado,
No.
like Judge Joe Brown, things like those.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Okay, so there's shows
Judge
like
Joe
on local TV channels and even
Yeah.
the Hispanic channels where they'll have like a judge and then they'll bring up cases and things like that. Those are fake.
Are
Like,
you
yeah,
serious?
I had a friend who
Oh,
auditioned.
like Judge Judy. That's
Yep,
fake?
It's fake.
No.
Yes. Yeah, you didn't know that?
She seems like she's so in the moment, like that's just real.
No, it's all scripted.
It's all scripted.
It's scripted. Those
You're
are all
kidding
actors.
me.
I swear.
It makes sense though, because sometimes you get these stories and you go, "Come on!" Like,
it doesn't make sense. Like this is way too. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a friend who auditioned for one of those shows.
Yeah.
And he's a white guy, but he speaks Spanish.
Okay.
So he auditioned for like Caso Cerrado, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or one of those Spanish shows. And he was supposed to be like
and
this.
It was all fake.
He was supposed to be this guy who was like very racist, and he lived next door to Mexicans.
Really?
And
Wow.
So it's like, he even told me like, this is what they do. They make you sit in this room. Everything's green screen.
Well, it's true
like,
though, because I did this. Okay, you ever heard of a show called Baggage? Jerry Springer game show called Baggage.
I might have.
And you have to like, a girl comes up or a guy, and you have 3 people, and you have to like say 3 things about you that could seem like baggage. It's horrible. It's like such a
like 2 truths, 1 lie kind of thing.
I did that like 2010.
Oh,
but
damn.
like it was so like they told me like, okay, say 3 things that could be like baggage about you.
Yeah.
And it was like they said the 3 things that I said about myself, but they made it so much worse. They added things on there to make me seem like such a hoe.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't.
Damn.
I really wasn't though.
Or did you sign off on it though? Like,
No, I don't know. I was only like, gosh.
is this findable on YouTube?
It is though, yeah.
Damn.
You would die.
You gotta send me a link.
Yeah, I do
So
wanna see
stupid.
that.
Even like I just look ridiculous. Like it's so stupid.
Oh my goodness. We could talk about TV shows
Yeah.
all day.
Oh yeah.
Dude, have you ever watched like anime or anything like that, or is that where you draw the line?
No, I've never. What is? Oh, the
Anime,
anime is like
like
that's
the
like
Japanese
the cartoon.
cartoon.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
Like the
I've seen
Japanese-
what it looks like,
Yeah.
but I've never gotten into that. That's not
Okay.
my thing.
So your kids don't watch like Dragon Ball Z or anything like that?
No, they don't.
They should.
They don't watch
No.
cartoons though.
Yeah, they
Nice.
watch.
I don't know what's on nowadays.
Yeah. So you probably
Those
wouldn't
bears,
even know.
those 3 little bears. Well,
The
my
three
niece, I forgot what it's called, but it's my nieces watch it. It's actually a good show. I was
The
like,
3
damn.
little bears.
It's like these bears. It's called
Oh.
something.
I'm sure
I
I
should
know
watch
it.
it.
The last
It's
time-
actually good.
I watched that more than anything.
Yeah.
It was
The last time I
sad.
watched like Nickelodeon or anything like that, there was a show called Max and Ruby, and that's it.
Oh, I
Remember
love
Max and Ruby?
My kids
The little
watch
bunnies?
Max and Ruby.
Max
Max
and
and
Ruby.
Ruby.
Yep.
Is
Do you
that
remember
even
like
around?
all that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like all
We're gonna throw it
that,
back?
or like Doug, do
Yeah. Those
are
Rocco.
Rocco's Modern
Yeah.
Life.
Wait, so let me ask you
Oh,
this:
Real Monster.
What was
That's so good.
what was your
That's like the
favorite?
best show.
What was your favorite? Either like late 2000 or early 2000s or late 90s
Yeah.
cartoon ever?
Cartoon?
Yeah.
Like Rugrats or Doug.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's some
I
good
used to love
choices.
Rugrats or Doug. I loved
Did you ever watch Hey
Rugrats.
Arnold?
Yo, I was such a nerd though. I had like Rugrats bed sheets. I had the Rugrats watch with
Oh,
like
damn.
Chucky on it,
Yeah, I
like the
think I
big
did
ass
too.
chunky watch.
Yeah, me too.
Did you?
Did you get that from a cereal box though?
I think I got it from McDonald's.
Oh,
I think
okay.
like McDonald's used to give
It
them
was like a
out.
promo.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh,
How do you feel
McDonald's
about?
even give out toys anymore?
oh,
Like
oh,
Happy Meals?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah.
They're not as good,
Hey,
though.
I was gonna say they actually give out really good toys.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I haven't gotten.
My kids live
Happy
off
Meal.
of Happy Meals.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love their Happy Meal, man.
You know what's funny is I remember like growing up, like having a Happy Meal was like
That made you legit happy.
no, it was like it was, well, yeah, yes.
Made me
I
happy.
still get
Yeah.
I still
I'll
get
say
happy.
yes, but also like it wasn't like a very common thing that would happen. Like when we got
Right.
McDonald's, it was like a
Oh,
it was like an
it
outing.
was like as if
it was
you
like
went,
a family
it's
event.
true though. It's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Like it's like you go out to a restaurant. It
Yeah.
was like special.
Yeah, I
It's
went to
true,
McDonald's
yep.
and it was like, whoa, what did I must have gotten
we're
straight
good.
A's.
Yeah, it's true. That was like for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we grew up in a household like my mom always cooked, and like my grandma was almost over, and like my mom would always have us cook, like me cooking since I was like a little girl. So
Yeah.
we always cooked,
Yeah.
and so when we did have like like and not knowing like how bomb the food was like growing up, but at that age like I would be more excited to eat McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Or I'd go to a friend's house and I'd be like, man, they eat Jack in the Box. They're so much cooler than you guys,
Yeah.
or their
Yep.
food's so much better. My mom would be like, are you kidding me? Like I'm in the kitchen 24/7 making
Damn.
food. You said
That's
about
how I
Jack in the
feel.
Box.
That's how I feel like
It's
because
true though, man.
I grew up with tortillas, beans, and all the like tamales and everything, and then I would have friends like
Same
oh,
here, or
is your
like
mom gonna
pasta,
make-
like homemade pasta. Like
It-
my mom,
yep.
like my tutu, my dad's mom, taught my mom even like how to make like the food that like she'd always said you need to know like how to make the food like my son really loves, which is like pasta, raviolis, manicotti and stuff. So she would teach her how to make like the homemade pasta. Dang. And like we had a pool table and my mom would like put out like all like the rolls of like the pasta sheets and stuff to let it dry overnight. Like to cook the next morning, like so I know how to do all that.
So you're Mexican and Italian.
My dad is full Italian. My mom is full Mexican.
Oh. Wow,
I'm half and half.
That's the best of both worlds when it comes to
food. A lot of good food. I'm like, damn.
And that's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love sushi. Yeah. I could legit eat sushi like 24/7, but like. There's nothing better than like a good bowl of pasta and like some good like tacos, you know.
My favorite food is lasagna.
Meat and cheese.
I love lasagna.
Oh, lasagna is so good.
I love
My mom
lasagna.
makes it once a year for my birthday.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. That's dope. That's like a tradition for your guys' birthday.
But I am getting older now, and I feel like when I eat it, as much as I love it, I love it.
So much cheese.
But you get gas.
No, heartburn. I get heartburn. Yeah. I get what's it called, acid reflux.
I do too.
Tums.
So like I gotta.
No, it happens though. It does.
Yeah.
Like I'm only 28, but I gotta eat like a slice and then like take a Tums.
No, me too though. It's me too.
And my husband.
It's like drinking alcohol. You drink a beer and then you have to drink water. But you're not supposed to take a Tums every bite.
Oh, forget it. I can't even drink alcohol anymore. Really.
Yeah. I stopped drinking. Period.
Did you? This is the best thing for you.
I never. Well,
I literally drink. I'll drink like.
You gotta pick your poison.
You gotta pick your poison.
And mine's is carbs.
Yeah.
Poor Keem.
No, honestly, I'm like, in our family, that's all we grew up eating was carbs.
Yep.
But like, we just have like, okay, so like my dad and my brother and a lot of like are more curvy or like thick, right?
Yeah.
But like me and my mom are thin, but like we eat a lot. Like I'll eat just as much as my brother.
See, I wouldn't think you do.
But it's just our metabolisms. Like I can eat a ton of food and wake up like tomorrow morning and look like I lost 2 pounds.
What?
And like if I just work out, if I like, okay, I'm gonna eat really healthy for the next 4 days, like it's like everything will be gone.
You have like the best.
Or like
genes
I'll
in
get
the
like
world.
I picked up on my mom's genes, and all the women are like that. Like my grandma, my mom, me.
No.
We're like that, but like my brother's like, or like my dad, like really, like my brother, like if I just look at this, like if I just look at it,
2 pounds.
You know, you know.
I used to make
but we
this
love
joke.
food, man. Like
I used
me
to
and
make
my
this
brother,
joke.
like we'll like get down and grub, like oh my god.
I used to tell this joke at family parties, like I get secondhand calories.
That's funny.
Like even if I smell it, like, well, I guess I can't have anything for dinner. Guess I'm eating a salad.
No, you're good though. You're tiny though. Compared to the guys in my family, you're tiny.
Oh,
you met my dad and my brother. You look like skinny. You're super thin.
Hey,
bro.
We got that on camera, right?
No, you're good. You're normal. Yeah.
I gotta start hitting the gym. That's my New Year's resolution. Start hitting the gym at least for 2 or 3 months.
You look good.
Yeah.
No, you look good.
Let's talk about what are your goals for 2019. Like, what do you expect the most to happen in 2019?
Short-term goals. I'm just gonna really push the hell out of the song "Wish You Well."
Mm-hmm.
I'm going into the studio in a couple weeks, and just concentrate on pushing these songs. I really want to find like an online marketer, or what do you call like
social media marketing?
A social media marketing,
like person who like posts and does the ads.
I think I think like in this generation, before back when 10 years ago when I was really in the business, it was more like you had to like go to the radio stations yourself, or
PR
people
companies.
really aren't listening to the radio stations. Like listen to podcasts,
right?
They're listening to things online, YouTube,
Yep.
So I need help in that area because that's not my expertise.
Right.
I really feel like I have like the tools. I just need someone to help guide me through it. And I need someone who's kind of like a online guru type thing, just to really like help social media wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to start, of course, like keep doing shows. I also want to start making videos, like skits, because like I've always like kind of done acting like most of my life, like with plays or like shows and stuff like that. And I want to get back into it, but I want to do like just like random skits. I think it's like fun, but it's also too, it's just like a good marketing tool.
Right.
Just like,
especially if they're like 1 minute
videos.
skits that you could post
just
on
like
Instagram.
60 seconds. So I'm gonna start doing stuff like that. And
That's
it's
awesome.
like fun shit.
Definitely document your life too. Like if you do a show or anything,
And that
see
too,
if anybody,
yeah.
Because I think that's super interesting. Because I'm always, if an artist posts something, I watch it.
Right.
And I don't even have to like the artist. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is interesting.
It's me too,
Like-
and I'm the same way. I like all that stuff too, especially too like our family alone. Like it's crazy. Like we got just a crazy atmosphere, and I just think like it would just be kind of like I was telling Magic the other day, like if I look back, like I've had more views on Instagram when I was just taping me and my husband talking.
Yeah.
Or like me with my
Isn't that
kids.
crazy?
More than like a song. Like it's sad, but like more than a song or a photo, I swear. And I'm like, people are more interested in just seeing like what we're arguing about or talking than
people like
else.
living other people's lives type thing.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think
it's really interesting how many eyes are on Instagram right now. Like how many eyes, like if you think about like we'll post a piece of content to YouTube, it might get a couple hundred, like maybe 200-300 views, maybe 100 only.
Yep.
But if you post it on Instagram, it'll get like 1,000, 1,200. You know what I mean? Like it's just more people are it's just easier to scroll on your feed.
Facebook is the god of all still, because you know you think about it, they have like what? How much was it? Like a billion accounts or something, or 100. It's like something crazy. So you think about if that many accounts, there's eyes for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Facebook marketing for sure. Like if you don't have somebody who does like Facebook marketing.
Okay, I need to get on Facebook more. I have it, but I really don't get on there as much as I need to.
Do you have like a fan page or like a?
I just started one 2 days ago.
Okay, well, well then you need to start.
I
posting
never had
on
one
this.
until then. And I also just recently, I didn't know this. I don't know if you knew this, but I switched my Instagram profile over to a business account. You can have that.
Yep.
I didn't know about that until 2 days ago.
We got to give you a crash course.
Yo, I didn't know about this. So I just did that because I was like, I kept asking. I asked my friend CJ that did the video for Wish You Well. I was like, when I go onto people's IG stories, it shows like you can swipe up and click on a link.
Yeah.
But I can never find that. And he goes, you have to switch it to a business profile. If you have over so many people, you can do that or whatever.
Is it still 10,000 followers?
Yeah. Minimum 10,000.
And as soon as I was like, oh man, and now I can do all these things. Like I can promote a song, and it even shows like how many people visit your profile. I didn't know all these things.
Yep.
Oh, and then it showed me about
ads.
Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, social media is the
See,
future.
I didn't know that. So I just started doing that a couple of days ago.
I will say this though, if you do have the time and opportunity to do it, don't ever post something on Instagram and then like share it to Facebook. I
always do that.
Yeah, when you do that, it counts against you in the SEO optimization.
It does.
So like if somebody follows you on Facebook,
right,
that'll get pushed down to the bottom because it doesn't come from that platform.
It has to be.
You have to upload it directly.
Upload
it directly to Facebook, and
this entire time since I've had Instagram, I've always automatically put it on my Facebook.
Because it's easy.
Yeah. It's just it's easy.
But it's good to know.
It's also just the exclusiveness. So like if there's a different, like it can be kind of the same thing, but if it's a little bit different, people will visit it because they'll know like, oh, I know there's different content on Facebook, different content on Instagram.
Like for example, like if I post
if
I post a portrait of somebody on Instagram and I share it to Twitter. On Twitter, it'll just say like I posted a new photo and then like http://s, like the link to it. But you can't actually see it on Twitter.
So I will just want to like click on the.
Yeah. So I'll just actually upload it to Twitter. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh! See, I already learned a couple more things now.
Oh, there's a ton of things.
No, I'm so. That's the thing too is I really want to do this on my own, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's a whole nother job.
Like I didn't even know. Magic just told me recently that like a couple artists that he knows who like make like videos like singing and stuff. Like they don't even make those videos. Like they sing the song and they send it to their label, and the label edits the video for them. And
like the lyric videos? Or?
No, like they're saying they're just singing something a cappella.
Like in the
bathroom. They have they have it set up, and then they send it to the label, and the label like puts a filter on it, maybe like twerks like one like note, or like it's like completely edited, and then they post it out, and they put the caption. Everything is like through that.
Yeah.
And here I'm like, oh my God, I'm over here like my hands shaking, like sitting in the toilet trying to like get like some acoustics, I swear. And like my head's cut off and I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I don't know stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I try to download these apps to put like a dope filter on.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm learning.
It's one of those things that Chuck and I have also learned, like even with podcasting.
I'm learning.
Even with podcasting, we're like, how can we do something that seems complicated, but make it to the every time we do it, it's like an easy process. We sit down, you start recording, and we just go. And make it easy for us. Because the easier it is to do something, the more you're prone to do it, and the more consistent you're able to be on it.
So smart.
I mean, think about it. If you had to like shoot a music video and edit it, and then have to wait for this and color grade it every single time. And like for these videos that we do for the podcast, they're like over an hour long. Yeah. Imagine sitting down every episode and having to go to angle,
and switch each camera.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So we're actually,
and you would think that that's what you're doing though.
So we're actually editing this video right now.
Yeah. So I'm
talking to you. Yeah. Chuck's got a remote right here under.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Yeah. I just thought you were being twitchy. Okay.
Oh, God damn it. She's like, damn. He has hella bad anxiety.
Hey, I'm used to it, so I'm just like, oh.
No, so like all these cameras are wired into wired into his computer.
I don't know. That's funny.
And then he just switches them. With the remote. So like
when cool.
When this whole thing is done,
talent.
when this whole interview is done, like we'll end up with like a 1 hour video.
Right.
It's already been edited.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You guys are geniuses.
We're lazy.
Yeah. We're lazy.
No, but
like,
that's
what's
smart
the easiest
though.
way?
Like to be able to even all this, I could never. Are you kidding me?
Wait, however we can help.
I asked you what the date was today.
Come
on, I asked you what the date was today.
It's
New Year's Eve. And I was like, what's the date today? Like, my gosh. I couldn't even plug the microphone in. I couldn't
Last thing, where can people find you online?
Go to my IG, Sophia Maria 702. Or you can go on to Facebook. It's under Sophia Maria 702. Also to check out, I have a new YouTube channel under Sophia Maria 702.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And everything's the same. So Sophia Maria 702.
We will go ahead and post all your links to your social media and YouTube in the video description for this video.
Perfect.
So if you guys want to check her out, we'll post everything down below for iTunes, Spotify, and everything. We'll send you some stuff too. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Keem. Thank you, Chuck.
And you know what? I completely forgot to even intro this episode as like, welcome to 2019. This is season 2.
I'll do it now.
Oh, yeah. It's 2019.
We'll do it after.
We'll do it after. Yeah.
We're going to have you do, but yeah. We're basically done, right?
I had such a great time with you guys. Thank you for having me on your show. And to this new year of 2019, I wish you both just much success, good health, happiness, love, and I appreciate you both. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on. And for everybody who's looking to follow her, again, we'll post all her information down below. Until next time, which camera am I looking at? This one right here?
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys on the next morning dinner.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, in the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.